That's a lesson that I learned. There's others too. There was one, Charmaine, and you were presenting at this conference, right? And I was in your workshop.
Yeah. Something happened?
Yeah, no, I made this pact. Okay. You had this workshop. You were talking about the importance of vulnerability.
Yes.
Right? Vulnerability.
Yes, that sounds right.
In your organization, like how to help leaders be more vulnerable and develop more relationships with their staff. And I remember taking this away and going, you know what? My next class, I had something happen in the prior class that I wasn't facilitating a discussion around some issues that students were having around a film that I was showing or video. And I said to myself, I need to redo that or check in with them about it. And I didn't. I totally chickened out. And I totally avoided doing what you
Oh my gosh.
And I look back and I'm like, I lost that opportunity. And then I said to myself,
why'd you chicken out?
That's a good question. That's a good one. I got to think on that. I think maybe I was worried. I wouldn't like the very fear of not handling or debriefing that discussion came back to me. Maybe it'll happen again while I'm trying to find out what I'm doing wrong. I won't be able to handle it. And maybe I think I was like worried I'd fall apart in class. Like I'd cry. Like I couldn't be, and I'm getting emotional bad now, couldn't be that person.
Yeah.
Strong.
Yeah.
I couldn't model, but I wanted them to see maybe this would have been okay.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. I'm getting emotional too. I asked because I felt in you that you really wanted to do it. And then when you said you chickened out, I'm like, that's so interesting. Because I know you enough to know there was a deep desire to do it. So whatever the reason is pretty significant. And your reasoning is so normal. Like your reasoning is the exact reason why people in any leadership role, people have the privilege to be in leadership roles, don't do it. Like what you just lived out is exactly what happens for leaders. And a part of me wants to just hold you and be like, oh my gosh, I totally get it. This is so emotional. And then the other part, which is really hard to do right now, but the other part is, this is also the moment to hold and say to leaders, like we also have the privilege to not do it. And like both of those things are true. It's a hard reality to hold both. I just honestly, I'm very aware that we are recording this and I wasn't anticipating any of this to occur. I want to thank you for being this vulnerable and being this honest. People do not have to be this honest. They don't. I don't know anything else to say to offer you in this moment because it's just a real life moment. What are you thinking? What are you feeling right now?
I'm really glad that we have this space to talk about this because I think supervisors and leaders feel like they have to have it all together. You know what I mean? Or give the illusion that they're a perfect leader.
Yes.
I remember when to be a supervisor for clinicians, you have to take like a supervision class. And I did this 25 years ago, at least. I remember buying this book about how to be a good supervisor because, we talk about imposter syndrome. We didn't call it that back then, but I think that is so real. It's so real. And it's for some people, it's unconscious that they may not realize that's going on for them. And so they put on this kind of bravado about them. And yet when you ask someone who's under a supervisor, I think they don't expect that. They want someone to be a good supervisor, know how to teach them their job and like the mechanics of that. But in the end, I don't think they want someone that's inhuman. You know what I mean? I think they want a human who has flaws and is able to come back to that, right? If you make a mistake and you mess up, be able to come back to that and say, hey, you know what, I messed up, or can we talk about what happened? Exactly what you're modeling. And that is, let's go little bit deeper. If you're able to do that, I'm going to hold you, but I want to go back to what happened and unpack a little bit so that I can learn from that. And I think that's really important work to be doing, because there's a lot of interactions that happen between supervisors and workers. And I don't mean to use workers in a negative way, but just the positionality of it that goes unnoticed, the humanity part of the work and supervising people. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for all of it. You said earlier on when you were talking, the things that staff or students, things that people are really wanting. And there is a pressure that people with the privilege to lead have, which is to do it perfectly and not get it wrong. Like, that is absolutely a thing. And what I have been trying to coach and teach leaders is that isn't what staff and students, that's not what is being looked for. It isn't. It is I don't know everything. I'm trying to do the things. I'm open to hear how it can be improved so we can co-create this together.
Yeah.
And I think the fear about not knowing, I don't know how it's going to go, not having control over how it will go and the outcome can be really difficult for people. There is so much normalized experience in what you're sharing.